The salutatorian for the class of 2012 is Michael Jindra. Michael addressed his classmates in the Padua Franciscan community at the awards assembly, which was held on the morning of May 25th. Michael graduates from Padua Franciscan High School with highest honors, a grade point average of 4.75. Tyler Meter is the valedictorian for the class of 2012. Tyler graduates from Padua Franciscan High School with highest honors, a grade point average of 4.80. As our valedictorian, a member of the National Honor Society, Tyler's success here at Padua Franciscan is a result not only of the intellectual gifts that God has given him, but also the unwavering dedication with which he has used those gifts and applied his efforts toward outstanding academic achievement and excellence in many other fields. Over the past 4 years, Tyler has been part of student government at Padua Franciscan High School, has participated in the French Club. As a musician, much of which has been self-taught, he has shared that talent inside the community of Padua Franciscan as a part of our music ministry, and has shared and developed that talent outside the community as well. In his time with us, Tyler has taken advantage of many opportunities to volunteer his time and energy in caring and in service. Describing himself, Tyler acknowledges a deep commitment to his faith, which is not only intellectual, but certainly lived out in many and varied ways, not only at Padua, but particularly at his home parish of St. John Neumann, as a lector, an altar server, and especially in his generous and dedicated involvement in the parish's Life Team program, not only as a faithful participant, but also in roles of leadership, as he encourages others to grow also in their relationship with God and to put into practice the faith that we profess. As I mentioned earlier this week at our baccalaureate Mass, during the course of their freshman year, within the context of a special prayer service, our students receive a Tau cross, a sign and symbol of our Padua Franciscan community. At that service, they are reminded that we are family, and that each and every person is an important and valuable member of our community. We tell them that we are glad that they are at Padua Franciscan High School, and while we will certainly share all that we have with them in their time with us, we also need what they have to offer, to make us better at being the people that God made us to be, better at doing the work that God calls us to do. In his 4 years with us, Tyler has taken that challenge to heart, has used his talents and skills and abilities not only for his own growth and good, but also for the benefit of others, his friends and classmates, those both within and outside of our Padua Franciscan family. His ever-cheerful presence, the strength of his leadership, humble and unassuming, his confident yet gentle spirit has made us better. He has been an example and a gift for all of us, as together we have pursued the paths of holiness and learning. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you this evening the valedictorian of the class of 2012, Tyler Meter.
Well, guys, this is it. Padua's 50th year is coming to an end. And here we are, the 48th graduating class of Padua Franciscan High School. These 4 years, but it seemed like it would take such a long time, now seems like it was just yesterday. There simply isn't time, or frankly do I have the patience to relate all the special events that have commemorated Padua's 50 years. But there are those things that we'll always remember. Like the time back in freshman year, when the man we all think sounds like God began to sing What is Love. Or even this year, when we all at one time or another walked into the attendance office and then immediately U-turned, forgetting it was moved to the general office. Of course, how can we forget that despite technical difficulties, we had quite the lip sync where Wesley asked Rachel to prom, an event now in the time capsule. Yes, some things can never be forgotten. So, and now most of us will be leaving Padua knowing how to Dougie, so thank you to my And of course, we can't forget all the days we got off thanks to volleyball winning states. There's no way that any of this would have been possible without the help of all the class of 2012, our class moderators, and the faculty. Many thanks also go to all the parents, especially for bake sales, because I know I couldn't bake cupcakes for one of those to save my life. I would also like to thank all of you guys for helping participate in things like hall decorations and lip sync practices, because these things take work, and they wouldn't have been nearly as well done, much less possible, were it not for all of you guys. So thank you all. We may not have as many students as a public school, but we really pulled through whenever we've been needed. All of those events through the past 4 years have led to this moment, graduation. Here at last. There are many people deserving to give this speech. I personally don't like the idea of having a GPA contest and awarding a speech assignment to the person who gets the highest, because, truth be told, GPAs are nothing more than arbitrary numbers. They say very little about character. And I know from experience that there are many people with great character in our halls. Padua students have shown time after time that leaders are created here, whether it be through campus ministry or Key Club, student government, or any of the opportunities that we have. I'd just like to thank all of you for granting me your time for just a few brief minutes as we look back on the past 4 years that may have been quick for some and not quick enough for others. Whenever I find myself wondering what makes us so different from any other high school out there, and no, not the things from the Facebook group, you know you're from Padua when, I realize that it's because of the Padua family. Now, we always throw around this term, Padua family, but really looking at it, we are more of a family than just a body of students. Each of us knows, and perhaps has even felt by this point, how much we care for and support each other throughout all of the challenges that our class has pushed through these years. We've been tested a lot as a community, like when the swine flu epidemic in Padua hit back in sophomore year, when we were challenged to break the record for CFO, and we constantly raised the bar by winning coin horse multiple times, and when world hunger was brought to our attention, and we kept giving even though it wasn't CFO season. Not all of the tests were easy though, and there were many losses in our class to grieve. It is so remarkable how each one of us is there for the other to fall on when we need a hand. These are skills that I know cannot be learned as well anywhere but Padua. These kinds of things are what make Padua such a great community, because we learn things here that make us the best people we can be, even when we're all going to be separated for our futures. Padua Franciscan High School is nothing more than a building without the Padua family inside of it. And even though the faces may change, generations learn from each other what it really means to be from Padua. And as we leave, our influence will stay for the seniors after us to continue what it really means to be from Padua. Besides, Mr. Steck is the best when it comes to creating workplace like Padua and Bruins by now. So I'll simply remind you that without you, we'd be Padua, and Bruins couldn't exist without you and I. So, what was Padua to you? For me, Padua and high school in general was a place where I found my voice and how to use it. I found how I best relate to the world and how I speak to others who it is that I am. For many of us, we speak through sports, some through music, and others through the fine arts, and all the other passions that we develop every day. For me, my voice and my passion has become music. Through its many forms, I couldn't imagine my life without it, because it is my way of relating who I am to everyone else. Whether it might be playing guitar alone and learning a song, or playing in front of the audience, I know that I speak best through those 6 strings, and I know myself best when that song plays itself. Each song may be very similar in some way. There's always a verse and a chorus, and then another verse and a chorus. But there's just that one thing that makes every song special. I mean, there are cases when you have a pretty wacky song or when D-Rock repeats verse 1 because he forgot verse 2. But in general, each song is some sort of solo, or part that just differs from the rest, the part that really sets it out. Going into high school, we are all people having just gone from the upper echelon of 8th grade to the lowest on the high school ladder. We are all our own song, and we have our verse and chorus, but we haven't necessarily found that part yet. By senior year, we have all in some way found that piece of the song that sets us apart, that makes us who we are. But I know that I'm not done growing, and I doubt many of us are. So if we have that piece found, well, what's left? We have to play that song, and that's what the future is. We've learned so much in high school, but it's all really broad. Where we go next is when we take those pieces and notes that we've created and put them together and play them for the rest of our lives. Some songs might be about service, while others are about romance. Some songs go well together, and others are just much better for different days. I've learned, just as I've learned from my experience with music, we all mess up at one point or another. As the real musicians will know, it's in how we recover from that mistake. Or even better, when we work with that mistake, that we succeed in using our voices and playing these songs. Our songs are our own, and each is shared among the rest. They show us our uniqueness and our similarities at the same time, because no matter the genre, there's always a verse and a chorus. A country song has the same pattern as any metal song, it just has a different feel to it. As the late Kurt Cobain once said, wanting to be someone else is a waste of the person you are. And I feel these sentiments really reflect what having our own song is all about. Wanting someone else's song because it happens to be a #1 hit at the moment is a waste of your beautiful music. Share your song. Don't keep it shut away where no one knows its tune. Be proud of the song you have to play, because it's your own, and it sings out who you are. So it all comes to this. Thank you all for a few minutes amidst these moments of a waning high school career. Now go and play your song. You never know where the next verse might lead you. Congratulations, class of 2020.